All right, let's talk about UL Edochie and ex-wife to be May Edochie. All right, so I was looking at some kind of news over the past some few hours ago. I saw it in passing, and there was a news somewhere. Okay, it was on Stella Demococos blogs post about Yul Edochie, about Queen May Yul Edochie, possibly apologizing to the ex-husband to be, apologizing to the ex-husband to be. This message is for my brothers out there that like to fantasize, the blue pill one that tend to camouflage or pretend to be red pill, the ones that fantasize, that have a struggle facing reality, but then it becomes very, very hard to help them because they are in fact calling fantasies reality. So I said a lot there, but don't worry about blue pill, all that nonsense. Let's just be real. Let's just be real human beings, okay? The point I'm making there is sometimes we like to fantasize. Let me just talk to you for a second, okay? Yesterday I was in some conversations on TikTok. I was in a conversation on TikTok. You guys should go follow me on TikTok if you're on TikTok, because sometimes randomly now, sometimes I just jump within some conversations. So go follow me up there. Let me make sure I set this up. So possibly May had apologized, and that apology was being pushed around. Guess what platform it was being pushed around? It definitely wasn't YouTube for the most part. It was on Facebook. On Facebook, we have some really criminal level bloggers up there that will just cook up information and they will start pushing it around like it's real. But that's nothing. Don't worry about it. They are superstars and they are rock stars, and hopefully they can handle what comes with it, right? But for you and I, I just want to talk to you because this discernment of a thing, the ability to be able to discern truth without seeing full fact, I think is going to be needed more than ever before, because we have all type of VDM style evidences being pushed around the internet and people tend to believe them very fast. All you have to do is cook up a screenshot. Screenshots can be made up with AI tools these days. Okay, they can even cook videos. They can cook even voices these days, right? But when you look at a series of events that leads down to whatever news they're pushing, you should be able to discern if something is the truth or it is not the truth. That's going to be a skill you need to develop. Most people don't have that skill. Okay? We have a lot of men that strongly believe that all it takes is good character to maintain good marriage. I strongly disagree with you. That is the bare minimum. The bare minimum is that you're a good person. That's where we start from. It's a bare minimum requirement. Yes, you should marry a good person. Yes, you should get with a good person. But that's the bare minimum. That's not all that's required for you to maintain your marriage. That's not all that is required for you to be attracted to your wife. Okay? There are so many people with good characters at the divorce court on both sides. So there's more here. And it speaks to your unrealistic expectation. It is no wonder why the marriages are crashing left and right everywhere. It is the very same reason why anybody would see a random apology letter on the internet and believe like, Somebody gave an example yesterday that a woman left her husband because the husband would not give her a head. Is that a good reason to leave your husband? Listen, you have no idea what kind of conversations are going on out there, and yet they are saying social media is not real. No, these are real people having this conversation on social media. If anything, at least you have to believe that they are speaking the truth of what they believe, even if they can't say it to each other's face in real life. But this is how they feel inside, and we know nothing else matters outside of anybody's feelings. So, in 2022, YUL EDOCHIE came out to the internet to come and tell us that he welcomed a brand new son with his second wife. At that time, I covered the story. I said this guy is not a polygamist. This guy is a serial monogamist. He's about to collect. Few days later, or maybe a week later, or something like that, YUL EDOCHIE, May EDOCHIE, the wife, ex-wife to be now, came out and said, I do not want to be a part of that nonsense, because he had gone to pay bride price for the concubine, and that's Judy Austin, right? So now, if his dream or his fake short-term dream of becoming a polygamist was cut short, right? That was too obvious to me. But for some reason, most of my brothers, they bought into that. In fact, they see him as some type of polygamy hero. At the time, at least. Some of them still do, but now he's been moving mad. Unfortunately, he lost a son in the middle of clowning himself on the internet, and we're still watching because the divorce is still in progress. So now, if you can't see, if you read certain letters, you should be able to discern and say, no, this doesn't make any sense. But how would you discern if you don't know? Because just that one, if all you're looking at is one piece of event or VDM style evidence, you will struggle with this all the time. But if you're able to discern by simply looking at a series of events and just, I want to say common sense, but it's not common sense. It's not common, So, yeah, it's a struggle. So that's what we're dealing with. Mario said it is a skill that is hard to develop. Yes. It's a good reason not to marry one for me. It's a requirement. Yeah, bare minimum. That's where you should start from. But it is not enough to guarantee a good relationship is the point, right? Yep. She also says she will not be numbered. Yep. Iroke. Them no get sense like him. Yeah. They no get sense like him. How dare you call watermelon concubine? Oh, sorry. It's a side chick, sorry. But anyway, she's not the wife according to Igbo culture, because they actually paid for her bride price, right? So, but all of that doesn't even matter, right? Because we're going to talk about Two-Face in a second here. But anyway, the report that I saw earlier on, let me pull it up, right? Okay, here we go. So it says social media influencer May EDOCHIE reacts to alleged apology letter to estranged hubby YUL. For me, I could be wrong, but if I see an apology letter that's moving around social media from May to YUL, I would instantly predict it's fake. Yes, I could be wrong, but I would instantly predict it's fake. Now, for a lot of my brothers, they're not even predicting or anything like that. They're just happy that at least, opwe, somebody is apologizing. They regret leaving their marriage. They are basically fantasizing that all these people leaving their marriage will somehow come back and apologize and regret it. It's a fantasy. Because even if one case is true like that, for the most part, it's not going to be true. The reality is that we are getting dumped. And that's not what we want as men. We want to keep our household together. And it's not going to be as simple as manipulating people to stay in a relationship that they feel is toxic. Even if you don't feel it's toxic, it is not good enough that you all by yourself don't feel it's toxic. You need both people not necessarily having a good time or happy all the time, but to at least feel safe in that relationship. If both people are not feeling safe in that relationship, it's only a matter of time. In fact, that is the one simple requirement. People have to feel safe in that relationship. They have to feel safer than on the streets. If it feels safer on the streets, they will go into the streets. And no matter how much you paint this picture that they will collect, it won't matter. It is you, obviously, at that point that care the most about keeping the household together, and then you will lose. Anyway, so social media influencer May EDOCHIE reacts to alleged apology letter to estranged hubby YUL. Social media influencer addressing the viral rumors, May EDOCHIE in a Facebook post shared by her lawyer. One second. In a Facebook post shared by her lawyer, Let me see here. Emeka Ngonye tagged the alleged apology letter as a desperate attempt to create a narrative when other efforts have failed. May did not issue an apology, any apology. It was YUL who chose polygamy and previously apologized. Something is becoming a theme here. Apologies, apologies, apologies. Something is becoming a theme here. You notice? All right. However, such apology would not alter the current legal situation. Please disregard false claims that are being circulated. There has been no apology from May. She's continuing to pursue the divorce proceedings and damages related to adultery. How much was she asking? She was asking for 100 million naira, right? Good luck with that. May Edochie filed for divorce in 2023 after YUL introduced actress Judy Austin as a second wife in April 2022. May, who cited adultery for her divorce, demanded 100 million naira in damages from Judy. Stella downplaying Queen May and her achievements won't increase your pension. Jesus Christ. Queen May is not a social media influencer. What's wrong with social media influencer? She's a businesswoman, extraordinary. Okay, whatever. You guys want May to talk so bad. Which one is May YUL Edochie reacts? All right. Anyway, I don't care if this reaction is true or not. I'm just talking to my brothers today. You need to develop your social and emotional intelligence skills so you can discern, so you can navigate this new era we find ourselves without becoming soft like YUL Edochie and Two-Face. Those two gentlemen became soft and they have been emasculated precisely. I know that's what you want to prevent. You don't want to be emasculated. But if you're operating from your place of emotions, you will precisely become emasculated. That's how it's going to work. That's how it flows. It's like, actually, if you understand how this works from the point you married a human being to where you are right now, this will be easy for you. If you understand emotions and you stop discounting emotions and feelings, and stop trying to manipulate people to stay in a marriage with you and calling it there's no happiness in marriage. Marriage is not about happiness. See, that talking point is a pregnant talking point because it's true on the surface, but in reality you are trying to say something else, and some of us can see through it. But never mind me, you know, I'm just a guy like you. I'm a guy man just like you, right? The women, the ones you're trying to manipulate to stay, they can now see through it. So it's no longer working. So you need to come up with something that has intrinsic value. Why should they be with you long term? Without begging or apologizing, because that's not what I ever ask you to do here. I don't ask you to apologize random willy-nilly. I don't do that. It is you that will come back apology. It is you that will come back a day later and say, I'm a Odogu, I'm traditional. It is you that tend to be confused in all of this, right? So I'm not asking you to apologize. As a matter of fact, far from it, because you need to understand why you're apologizing if that's a need ever. But if you don't understand it, if you're trying to manipulate people, it will work against you and you'll pay a big price for it. What kind of big price? Well, your household will fall apart. And I don't mean monogamy or polygamy. I'm saying your household, you as an individual, as a man, as a king, everything will continue to fall apart. But that's what I wanted to say today about the apology. I'm okay with being wrong. If there was a true apology out there from May and suddenly she regrets leaving her husband and she should have stayed in a polygamy because there's nothing in the streets, I stand corrected. I doubt it. I doubt it. Let me come to the chat real quick. Hey, Jim, how you doing, Jim? Good to see you, Jim. Abby says, of course, we've seen how things have played out. Why would she apologize for what? Kings of patriarchy. Of course, they hope a woman will be miserable after ending a marriage. Yeah. A lot of them are fantasizing. They're looking every time they see an ounce of it, you know. They say, like I was telling you, somebody said, oh, she left her marriage because of head. I was like, well, if she left because of head, it's probably because of many other reasons as related to your boring in other aspects of life, not just head. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. And if there's a one-off out there, and she go collect now, prove to her that you are the king, that you are the prize by letting her go. How is that? There you go. The one that was hurt and messed up is the one to come back and apologize for what exactly? Make that make sense. Shinye says. Mario says they live for women to regret rejecting them. Fortunately, there's a lot of them out there right now. I just want them to see how flawed that angle is. All right, so let's do this. Let's get into the main story of the day. Do me a favor, hit the like button. What do you think? Is it possible that May Edochie will come back and apologize based on everything we've known, right? Not just based on the simple fact that she has the audacity to leave a King Odogu YUL EDOCHIE. That one piece of variable is never good enough, okay? You need to know everything else that led to this, how a grown man was moving. You need to understand that. Do you think that it's possible that Queen May, a gentle soul like Queen May, is secretly sitting there one day she will gain the courage and say, let me go and apologize to my husband, King Kong YUL EDOCHIE? Is that a possibility? That we could just all be wrong someday? I'll be willing to be wrong, but let me know what your thoughts are. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. I'll be right back.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.